Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marvel's Unboxing. So in today's video, we're going to be going over another Marvel Legends, and this character is going to be Black Widow. Now, this is character number 2 in the actual series. If you want to go check out character number 1, it is Taskmaster. I'll leave a card right up here in the corner, so be sure to check that out. It's the first character in the series. We're going to be doing all of them, and hopefully very soon. Nonetheless, though, Black Widow actually premieres on Friday, July 9th, but it has an early screening of July 8th, which is the one I'll be attending to. Hopefully, you guys get the chance to actually see it this week or maybe next week. It's still a bit early, and the last thing I want to do is avoid any spoilers. As we can see, taking a better look at the actual Marvel Legends, we get some cool accessories. We get Black Widow, and we get our first look at the actual Build-A-Figure, which is going to be Crimson Dynamo. I actually did a little bit of research on him, some sort of arch nemesis of Iron Man, which I think I might actually keep a Build-A-Figure of Crimson Dynamo. I love Iron Man, and I think having some sort of enemy towards him is going to be a great addition to my collection. Black Widow is character number 2 in the wave, but she's only character number 1 in the actual Build-A-Figure. Taskmaster was the first character, but they included no Build-A-Figure pieces. Black Widow is going to include one very large leg, and the next character is going to be Yelena, which is character number 2 in the Build-A-Figure wave. It includes almost the entire shoulder mount, which is a very large piece. So it's extremely weird packaging, but nonetheless, though, I don't want to wait too long on this. Let's actually go ahead and unbox this character. So for this particular Marvel Legends, we get completely all weapons, including the fists. Yes, they are weapons in my opinion. We get 2 pistols, 2 closed fists, and 2 sticks, or I call them batons in this particular case. And we get the huge leg of Crimson Dynamo. Here's a comparison to the actual Black Widow figure, just to show you how big this leg actually is. I thought it was pretty big, but in correlation, I'm sure you guys saw it in the window, but here's out of the box perspective, and it looks enormous, like elephant feet. So here's a closer look at the actual weapons. As you can see, I'm not exactly sure what particular weapons they are. The only pistols I'm actually familiar with are Magnums and Colts, thanks to Call of Duty. I'm not exactly sure what these are, so any guns expert that could let me know, I'd appreciate it. Fairly odd details, extremely, and it might be a little bit complicated to actually tell what type of weapons these are, but I guess if you're an expert, you might be able to tell. They are very thin compared to what I've held in actual weaponry, so I think there's just enough space to actually slide them in the hands of any Marvel Legends. I'm sure these are not exclusive to just Black Widow, but nonetheless, though, from a faraway distance, you can definitely tell that these are weapons. I don't think you need to get into the very niche details of these to actually get them to be the design of weapons. And of course, we have 2 simple fists, again, just black closed fists with regular articulation that's going to go up and down. So this is like we've seen before, so I'm glad they decided to include 2 fists. And lastly, we get a closer look at the actual batons. Now, I'm not sure if these are supposed to be actually flexible in the actual movie. They are definitely flexible here, so I'm not sure they're supposed to be some sort of whip-like weapon, or they're actually some sort of baton-like weapon where you actually hit them and they absorb all the shock, kind of like sticks. So I'm not exactly sure what that's all about. I've seen a couple of pops and photos with Black Widow, and they appear to be some sort of lasso-like material. So I'm not exactly sure what these are, but anyways, I think they'll look great as some sort of maybe sword fighting. And lastly, the closer look at the actual leg, it looks weird and it's extremely big, really. I wonder how big the actual Crimson Dynamo figure is actually going to be. It bends all the way, so I'm sure this Marvel Legends is going to be somewhat like the other ones. Seems to have no ankle because it clearly does not move. As you can see right here, you can't really move it up and down that much. You can definitely twist it all the way. Of course, it's a robot. The knee goes all the way up and down, and we get some closer look at some new plug-in joints. So I'm not sure if Marvel Legends actually work like this, but if they do, I think that would be pretty cool. As for the actual Black Widow character, I think they did a pretty good job with it. Honestly, they have some similarities between this character and the actual actor of Scarlett Johansson, who plays the character Black Widow. Definitely not 100% unlike some of the characters we've previously seen before, but you can definitely tell some similarities. I've never really seen Black Widow up close, and I just now realized she has green eyes, so it's a little bit of a weird first impression really. I never really paid that close of attention to characters because I'm really never up in their face, but it's just kind of a weird first appearance surprise to me that she had green eyes. Now this character does have some sort of grayish or brown in the actual hair, and from what I remember, I thought the hair was purely red. There might be some actual dirtiness in it. I'm not exactly sure. Now I've said before, this character takes place after the events of Civil War, so she still has red hair, but I'm not exactly sure why the hair has some sort of grayish, dirty spots in it. I don't know if that's natural in the actual movies, or if it's just some sort of mistake, or if it's just dirtiness from being outside and going to warfare with Taskmaster. Now this character is going to be a lot thinner than the other characters that we've previously seen before. I would not like to see Black Widow with the arms of Thor. As you previously seen this previous snapshot of Thor doing Love and Thunder, that guy has some massive arms, and I do not have the same size as him, but I definitely have much bigger arms than Black Widow, and having big arms or big legs on Black Widow would not be correct. So this character is going to be a lot smaller. We haven't done really any females on Marvel Legends, mostly because we lack them. The previously one that we did before was, in fact, Scarlet Witch. If you guys have not seen it, I'll post a card right up here. But she was wearing a giant cloak or cape or whatever you want to call it. It was a little bit hard to tell, but this character is just in a little bit of a suit. I'm not really even sure what you call this really, but the actual details on this character are great. They have some sort of glider, which I previously mentioned before, that Taskmaster actually has some sort of backpack, and it serves as a glider, so I think this might actually serve the same purpose. I'm not exactly sure. I've never seen this before, so as I said before, it might be some new tech. It might just be a glider when they were actually jumping out airplanes, which is something that I've seen before. Not really sure why, but I guess with this glider is what helps them, you know, navigate, wee, stuff like that. So I'm sure we're going to see some cool articulation with this character in regards of actual poses and movements to actually be able to do some cool poses. Again, I'm sure the articulation is going to be roughly about the same. We can just pop the head off on here. Yep, there you go. So we have a ball joint here, which is really not going to do too much of a darn thing because, well, the hair really makes it kind of a struggle. You can actually look back here. So you can turn it all the way around, but definitely very hard to actually do any back and forward movement. The shoulders is going to be exactly the same. Going to do a full 360 one way, and you can definitely extend it, not all the way up, but if you twist it just a little bit here, you can definitely make it look a little bit better. The elbow is going to twist all the way back and just slightly forward. I don't know if this actually has, seems like it does not have the little joint right here that allows the arm to actually twist. Yep, I don't see anywhere there. It has this cool little wristband, which I believe are bullets, so that's pretty cool. But we're gonna have the same articulation here, twist all the way and forwards and backwards. We can actually get any. It's very complicated to actually do anything with the hands. Oh. And again, the arm on the opposite end is going to be exactly the same, and the actual articulation that I was wanting to see was right here. It looks like you can twist it somewhat back, so it's not all the way back as we've seen with some previous characters. Again, this character is a year old, so maybe they've developed some new tech to actually make the characters bend a little bit more back and actually look more cooler. There's some sort of little wedge right here that makes it look weird if you're going to make it like it's flying. It does not bend all the way back, and it doesn't look like there's any sort of actual thing impeding the actual character from moving back, so it might just be the actual joint that's in there. I'm not going to pop it off to look. As far as the actual waist, there is no waist movement. Wow. Oh, that's why. Looks like it twists and turns right here, and you can get a twist like that. But there's no, so this character is exactly the same, well, some sort of appearance to Scarlet Witch, except Scarlet Witch had a lot bigger gap in here that allowed it to bend almost all the way back, which looked like you were about to break her spine. It looks like they even have the Black Widow emblem, which I remember seeing from the actual Marvel Avengers game. So that's what we have right there. Alright, and moving on, we actually have these holsters for the weapons, and I think they are very, very cool. You can actually fit a weapon on here, which I think is awesome. I've never really seen that through any other characters. I really wish some of them had like holes in here to attach weapons, kind of like Bucky, but unfortunately they're not, and it seems like Black Widow actually has that. Holsters for the weapons, and I think that's very cool because you can have the weapons and then also attach another accessory, so that is very, very cool. I like that. Very nice implementation on the Marvel Legends side. As far as this character go, I don't know if the holsters are actually going to cause some sort of impediment, but it looks like you can actually move these. Wow, that's cool, but it looks like you're going to have some sort of issues if you actually start to bend the character's legs. The holster looks like it moves all the way up, which I believe you might be able to just slide it down to actually resolve for that, but it still might be a little bit complicated because they are elastic and they're just going to stretch all the way up to rest in the natural position. The legs actually have the joint that we're missing up here, so this is going to twist 360, and it looks like you'll be able to get away with it. Really, the things are just going to stop sliding after a certain point. They're not going to break. The actual legs right here twist somewhat, they go back not too much, so just the basic as much as a ball joint actually allows. The knee is going to allow you to go all the way back, so a 90-degree angle, not so much forward really, it's just a straight line. And taking a closer look at the actual legs or the ankles, we have forward, we have back, and we do not have any side to side, so it looks like it's just forward and back, and that looks kind of broken. So all in all, the articulation is roughly about the same as any Marvel Legends that we've seen before. The newest, coolest additions that we've seen in this character are the glider, which I have never seen on a Black Widow character. And we, of course, have the holsters that allow you to actually put the weapons in there. And I think you look really, really good. That's a nice implementation on Hasbro. They could have just not done that. But again, this might be something that is featured in the movies. And of course, you can never go wrong with adding holsters to allow Black Widow to actually attach weapons. But again, we just went over our main character in the actual Black movie. Heck, the movie is in fact called Black Widow after our character Black Widow. So we had to go over this character, and I'm also excited for the Build-A-Figure piece, which is Crimson Dynamo. I am a huge fan of Iron Man, so finally putting some sort of arch nemesis in front of him is going to be amazing. I don't have too much of my collection out, but I think certainly would have to put Crimson Dynamo. I think in fact there is multiple Crimson Dynamos. I don't know, but nonetheless though, getting on topic with Black Widow, you can definitely get some cool poses in. Definitely get some sticks and clear pieces to actually put her on her and actually make her like she's flying or fighting with Taskmaster. So definitely some versatileness in the actual characters. There's enemies, there's friends, so you can definitely get away with doing some very cool photos with these characters. That's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are there at the Black Widow premiere. I'm definitely going to be there, and I hope I get a look at the actual comic that is supposed to release when you actually order the tickets. So I hope I get a copy of the actual comic. I don't read comics, I just want to collect them, as most people in this channel do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the movie. Definitely going to be no spoilers here, and I'll definitely do my best to avoid any spoilers in the comments section. I'll just be going over characters, and I will have more knowledge on these characters after the movie, but certainly I will try to reduce that and not let so much spoilers go out. I'll act like I don't know who these characters are for the first time. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to Hulk smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, comment and share, and of course I will be seeing you guys next time. That's all I got for this video. Peace out.